Thank you for watching my first video in the Why Not to Do Yoga series. Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about why not to do yoga. I'm Troy Cox, founder of Safe Yoga School and author of The Why of Yoga. This video series comes from chapter 9 of my first book, and the chapter title is intentionally Why Not to Do Yoga. Now, before anybody panics, I'm not here to tell people that yoga is bad. It's not one of those videos. I've spent over 20 years practicing, teaching, studying, training teachers, and helping people understand yoga is safer and more grounded way to live life. Yoga can be beautiful and yoga can be healing. Yoga can help people build awareness, strength, balance, breath, focus, and a better relationship with their own body. But here's the part we do not say out loud enough. Yoga is not automatically safe just because somebody calls it yoga. And a yoga teacher is not automatically trustworthy just because they speak softly, burn incense, quote ancient wisdom, or have a large online following. And that's what this series is about. I'm not attacking yoga. I'm protecting people from unsafe yoga, I hope. Now, there's a difference. In chapter 9 of The Why of Yoga, I wrote about the reasons someone might choose not to do yoga, or at least not to do yoga in certain environments, with certain teachers, or under certain assumptions. Because the modern yoga world can be confusing. Some classes are really exercise classes with yoga names. I know, I've taught those. Some teachers are undertrained or not trained. Some rooms are too crowded for real, clear instruction. Some classes are too hot, too fast, too loud, or too focused on performance or their playlist. Some teachers push students into shapes that their bodies really aren't ready for. Some students get hurt because they think the teacher must know better than they do. And some people stay in unsafe environments because everyone around them is doing it. Now, this is where I want to pause, because popularity is not proof of safety. A full room does not mean a safe room. A confident teacher does not mean a qualified teacher. A hard class does not mean a better class or yoga. And pain is not proof that yoga is working. Pain might be information from your body. It might be a warning. It might be your body saying, this is not for me. One of the biggest shifts in my own teachings happened when I stopped seeing yoga as something to perform and started seeing it as something to protect. The student's body has to come first. The student has to come first. It's not about the teacher. The student's nervous system has to come first. The person in front of the teacher has to come first, not the pose, not the brand, not the teacher's ego, not the thank you, or not what they're selling, not the playlist, not the heat in the room, not the idea that everybody in the room should be able to do the exact same thing at the same time. That's called group fitness, and I know because that's where I started. And I understand it because I came through the fitness world too. I taught hard classes, I kicked some butt, I taught sweaty classes, I taught challenging classes, fast classes, hot classes. I followed trends, I did Pai-Yo, taught Pai-Yo, I learned from other popular teachers in America. I also needed to grow, and part of my growing was realizing that yoga can become dangerous when we treat it like a performance instead of a practice. So the first question is not, should I do yoga? The better question to ask is, what kind of yoga? And with whom? In what environment? For what purpose? What am I exposing myself to? And does this teacher actually know how to keep me safe? That's the true, real question. Am I safe? Because if you walk into a yoga class looking for healing, but the teacher is really teaching from ego, trend, pressure, ignorance, what looks cool, what sounds cool, what celebrities are doing, you're going to get emotional harm, spiritual confusion, financial exploitation, and sometimes a complete loss of trust in yoga itself. And this is why this conversation matters and why I think it's important. My next book is called The G of Yoga, Gurus Exposed, What to Watch For and Who to Trust. And this video series is part of that bridge, because after more than 20 years in yoga, fitness, teacher training, studios, gyms, and spiritual spaces, I believe students deserve better tools, not fear, not gossip, not backstabbing, not discernment, not being sold things, not blind trust, clear eyes. You don't need to become cynical. You do need to become discerning and educated. Education can solve all the problems in the world. And you don't have to quit yoga. I don't want anyone to quit yoga, and I don't want to prevent anyone from taking yoga. I want to prevent unsafe yoga. Now, you might need to stop confusing intensity with transformation. You might need to stop giving your spiritual authority away to people who have not earned your trust and who are not living yogic principles. And you might need to remember that the most important teacher in the room is not the person standing at the front of the room, it's you. The most important teacher is your own body saying, no, not today. I don't feel safe. Not like this. Not with this person. I'm not going to do that sequence and blow out my knee. And that is not weakness. That's wisdom. So this first video, just think of it, it's like a doorway, because we talk about gurus, scandals, ethics, injuries, and they really do happen. Yoga can be very powerful. That's exactly why it needs to be approached with respect. A powerful practice in untrained hands can really hurt people. I've seen it. A powerful practice in ethical, educated, safety-minded hands that are living yogic principles can make a huge difference. In the next video, I'm going to talk about why treating yoga like ordinary exercise can create problems, especially when it becomes really fast. The room's crowded, it's repetitive, all on one leg, because yoga may include movement, strength, flexibility, and balance, but yoga is not just exercise. It's not about the postures. And when we forget that, people can get hurt. If this topic interests you, please check out my first book, available on Amazon, The Why of Yoga by Troy Cox, and look for the next book I'm writing right now, The G of Yoga, Yoga Gurus Exposed. And my goal is simple. It's to help students, teachers, and seekers ask better questions before you hand over your body, your money, your inner life, your energy that you can't get back. Because safety comes first, your safety, then transformation follows. I'm Troy Cox. Thank you for being here. And remember, do not quit yoga. Don't stop taking yoga. Quit unsafe yoga. Namaste.